Okay, so you said you were from Nigeria?
Yes. Do you mind if I introduce you to the name of the podcast?
Go ahead.
All right. I have Cam. This is Adamu from Nigeria Freedom Radio. Yes, I am originally from Nigeria, Cam.
That's fucking. Is it hot there? I just assume it is. I've never been there. I don't do any research on it.
It's hot.
So,
It's hot.
how hot does it get there?
40.
Oh,
In the northern part of Nigeria, it could get up to 42, 45. So it's really hot.
holy dick. All right.
Yeah.
Well, you introduce the democracy. Is it good? Well, okay. First of all, what would you? Are you democracy is a yes or no in your eyes?
For me, it's no.
Ooh, well, I live in America and I personally agree with democracy. This is awesome. All right, so why is it bad?
Well, if let's say we're in a group of five, if four of us voted to take your car, or worse, amputate your leg, how would you feel?
If four people took my car,
Yes, if you and I are in a group of five people
uh-huh,
and we practice democracy, okay,
uh-huh.
and we voted to take your car, we just we just feel like doing that.
If four people fucking stole my car, I guess I'd be really, I mean, I'd be mad no matter how many people stole it, I guess, whether it was like four or one, either way. But I mean, I see where you're going with this, so keep going.
Yeah, so that's basically what democracy is. It's just like a mob rule. It's a numbers game. You have more numbers. Like for example, had it been Hillary Clinton won, she might attempt to increase taxes on the rich. So basically, the people that voted her in robbed off uh, the wealth from the rich if she would have succeeded. So that's what democracy is, and that's why I don't like it. Like morally, you can't justify it.
Although that is true, you can't morally justify anything on earth because you have, okay, just look at Korea and look at America. Now, you've never been to Korea, have you?
I have not.
Okay, so if Americans go to Korea, then there's this actually, no, that's not a good thing to start with. Okay, let's go with the decision. I'm more interested in the decision making. So when let's say you're with a group of friends and you want to go buy something and you don't know if it's a good idea. So a monarchy is you looking at that and with all of your knowledge, and let's assume you're a great leader to begin with, people would be like, oh, a great leader. I mean, I guess he would choose the right decision with his knowledge. But if you had a bunch of friends with you and they're like, well, I wouldn't try that candy bar. It's high on calories. Or, well, I mean, I've tried this candy bar before. Don't get this one. So I believe if you have more opinions and you have all of the knowledge you could possibly get, then you're better off making a decision as a whole. Because if you go based off of your knowledge, no matter how smart you are, you're only one person. You're so limited. But in a democracy, you're multiple people and there's multiple brains working on one problem. So not only are you having, and we all think differently too. We all think on different wavelengths. That's why we're all different. That's why we do different drugs. That's why we're into different music. That's why we study different things. So if you have different people thinking on different wavelengths about one problem, then not only are you going to get more than one way to solve it, but you actually could solve the problem and come with a good solution, like terrorists in Afghanistan and Taliban. Me personally, I don't know what the fuck to do, but if I had 20 other people around me that were like, oh, well, I kind of know about this. I think we could do this because they believe in this, and that's the way to do it. Then that's more people giving their opinions, and now I'm smarter. And now that we all are sharing this knowledge that one person couldn't hold all to themselves, then the decision, it's almost like a monarchy of someone that's really, really, really smart, but it's comprised of however many people is voting. Whether I think, what is it? Do you know in America it's like 48? I don't know how many senators are there. Not senators. How many people have to make the decision? There's three branches. It's the president, and it's like 20 old dudes, and then it's like a couple judges, right?
Right. The executive, judiciary, and the legislature.
Yeah, yeah. I could never remember those in history class, but
It's okay. I'm older, so that's you just know it.
but yeah, you know what I mean. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so let me start with this. Let's say in a group of five, each one of us has this really great idea about making a cake. Now, if we use democracy, what that will do is we will, all the five people will cook and we'll get to vote one of the cake. We will use the cake, that one cake that we vote in, to be the cake that we will eat. If it is not democracy, if it is freedom, if it is the kind of system I'm supporting, what will happen is if you make your cake, whatever cake you want to eat, you make it and eat. Whatever cake I want to eat, I make it and eat it. We don't have to all eat one cake. Everyone could eat his or her cake. And you mentioned how people are different. There is no any other system that could actually make differences so amazing than freedom, because everybody gets to choose and do what they like, eat what they like, rather than in a democracy where you just have to choose one.
Are you are you an anarchist?
I usually do not like label. So yes, I'm technically an anarcho-capitalist, but I like to see myself as a freedom lover. I
But all in all, you don't agree with the government,
Yeah,
basically.
well, just like I told you, I don't know, you haven't attacked my core argument, which is if five of us voted to take your car, because that's what happened in a democracy. How would does that make it right for us to take your car when you don't want? Or does it make it right to deprive you of eating your own cake, the cake you like, just because we voted to have somebody else's cake?
Okay, so I see what you're saying. So okay, um, let's let's just say let's put you in a hypothetical situation. You're God, right? What would you do to change all the governments and solve this problem?
Okay, well, first of all, we need to unenslave ourselves. And that is really the key point, Cam. When you see a bunch of slaves, the first thing I hope you would think, I know the first thing I would think is how to unenslave them first. That is the very first thing. If I see someone kidnap a girl, the first thing I'll be thinking, how do I rescue the girl? When I rescue her, then we can think of how we will provide roads, we'll provide anything we want. So that's what I would do. The first thing I would do is to dismantle all this force. Government is force. Dismantle government, and then people will figure out, like we have been doing for centuries with that government.
So how far are we dismantling this? Because I'm confused whether I should define
Zero.
you as
Zero
an
government. Zero. Absolutely zero
oh
government. Yeah.
oh
No.
you're not a hard Republican. You're
Yeah.
just straight up anarchist.
Yeah.
Like
No.
not even limited.
No. No.
Just
No. 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 Because I can't justify it still. Any kind of government camp requires money. And how do you get money? You get it by stealing, by democracy, by stealing. I do not think stealing is good.
well, okay. I think I see what you mean, but okay. So you have great points, and what you're saying is you're saying that government is bad because of this. This is why we should get rid of it. Okay, so if that happens, then because you're making this argument to persuade to get rid of the government. So if a chain of events happens where someone hears this and then all the governments in the world just fall to shit, then like do you think we'd be better off without police officers enforcing laws or traffic lights or or not obeying traffic lights isn't a law anymore, or kidnapping isn't a law anymore? It's just kind of not kidnapping isn't a law anymore is what I mean. But you're saying without any regulation whatsoever, if we just rely on the people, then we would be better off.
Absolutely. Let me
Okay,
ask you, if do you have siblings? I don't
I
mean to ask you
do.
personal.
No, no, you're good. Yeah, I have siblings.
Okay, so let's say your brother stole something. Would you? Obviously, there is, like, let's say your brother stole your stuff. Obviously, there's no law against your brother stealing your item. Taking your stuff. What would you do? Is there any way you could possibly talk to him, or to prevent further occurrence, maybe by you or your parents?
Well, if he was stealing things from me, I'm gonna put this into the perspective of a government, like two countries fighting each other, I guess, because this is where it'd be used most. But if he stole from me, I guess I would ask him to return it, and if he doesn't, then I'm gonna cause physical harm. And then if he doesn't do that, then I'm just gonna fuck with him enough until I get my stuff back, and then leave. I guess that's what I would do.
Okay. So what you said, I mean, um, you know, you will talk to him first, try to get your stuff. And look, like in Nigeria, I grew up in villages that basically have no government. We have less crime. We have amazing way to resolve conflicts, like through families. So, like with your brother, you could you could either resolve it through you, and if you exert more force than necessary, your parents, you know, someone would say something. And if you still defy that, the society will shun you. It's called ostracism. That's how society ultimately punishes uh, lawbreakers.
Well, yeah, I mean, you grew up in villages and shit, but like, if you have a group of 100 people that kind of love each other, and they're just kind of there living in their own town doing their own thing, with growing up with the same culture, that's important. Growing up with the same culture and with a steady mind, and you don't have a drug problem and that, then you're perfectly fine. But if you put a bunch of people in a room, like if you put two people in a room, one of them isn't going to kill each other, just like in the village there's not enough people. But if you put a whole bunch of people in the room, you're eventually gonna get a bad egg, and he's gonna want to like terrorize and shit. So I mean, I get what you mean, how you're in a village and there's no crime, but the population and the potential for crime is also lowered, not because of laws, but because of just human. Because human has to break the law to break the law. So there's not enough possibilities for them to want to break the
All right,
law.
Cam. Sorry to interrupt. We have like 7 seconds.
No,
Thank you
yeah,
for.
I know. It sucks. All right, I'll see you later, my boy.
All right.